Hello, welcome to another exciting week. I hope you are enjoying the class. If you have any concerns, if you have any difficulties, make sure you send them my way. You have my email, you have my phone number. If you called me, I am going to be happy to talk with you and clear up any difficulties or confusions you may be having. So far we've had an exciting semester, and let's do all to end it strong. Last week we looked at metamorphic rocks. We understand that metamorphism simply means change. In this case, our rocks are being transformed by heat and pressure into different types of rocks. This week we're going to be looking at a different type of change. It is not metamorphism, but our rocks are going to be changed from whole rocks into sediments or reduced into their different chemical constituents. So we're going to be looking at weathering this week. Weathering just simply means that our rocks are being broken down. There are two main types of weathering: physical weathering or mechanical weathering, and chemical weathering. In the case of physical or mechanical weathering, we're looking at physically breaking down our rocks into smaller fragments, so you end up with what we call sediments. In chemical weathering, remember when we're looking at minerals, we said a mineral is what? Is made up of different elements, and these different elements have a way of, the different atoms in the different elements have a way of being bonded together. Can be chemically, we have ionic bonds, covalent bonds, or van der Waals, and these different bonds that bind your minerals together can be broken, and when that happens, the different chemical constituents, the ions, are going to go into solution. So chemical weathering involves dissolving these bonds that you have between the different atoms or different elements that make up your minerals that you have in your rock. So I said we are going to be looking at two types of weathering: mechanical weathering and chemical weathering. So you are expected by the end of this module to be able to define weathering and distinguish the two main categories of weathering, which I've already said are physical and chemical weathering. You also be able to list and describe 4 examples of mechanical weathering. One of them is biological action, the roots of trees. When you have little cracks in the rock and the tree roots get in there, as time goes on, these tree roots will get bigger, expand the cracks that you have in your rock, and eventually that rock is going to be broken down. The work of snow also, when you have little cracks in your rock and water gets in there, we already saw in our mineral lecture that when water freezes, it expands, and that expansion exerts a lot of force on pre-existing cracks, and that continuous expansion with time is going to cause that rock to crumble. You also you'll be able to discuss the role of water in each of the 3 chemical weathering processes. Then you'll be able to summarize the factors that influence the type and rate of rock weathering. You'll be able to define soil and explain why soil is referred to as an interface. You'll be able to list and briefly discuss 5 controls of soil formation, sketch, label, and describe an ideal soil profile. And then you explain the need for classifying soils. Lastly, when you are done with this module, you will be able to explain the detrimental impact of human activities on soil and list several ways to combat soil erosion. Once more, welcome to another exciting week. Make sure if you have difficulties or questions, you send them my way. Let's get into our module this week and learn about weathering. Thank you.